Welcome to the Land Doctor's latest listing, Castaway Cattle Ranch. This is a 458-acre ranch located 2 hours from the Northeast DFW Metro, OKC, and Tulsa. Plus, it's only a half-mile off a quiet stretch of Highway 75. It's perfect for those with families and friends spread out across Oklahoma and North Texas, with this property being an easy-reach destination for everyone, which is a good thing, because they're all going to want to come see you. At first glance, this property looks like a nicely maintained and smartly designed cattle ranch. With 350 acres of gently rolling sandy loam pastures and scattered shade trees, it is an idyllic setting for cattle. As such, the fences are good, and there are plenty of good cross fences to break the property up into 5 main pastures and hay meadows. The southeastern pasture is 120 acres, and the southwestern pasture is 115. They both hub off the central hay meadow that's 54 acres in size, and the pasture to the west that's 40 acres. From there, you can rotate to the northern 54-acre pasture and onto the 4-acre trap and corral if you're ready to work cattle. The hay meadow is set up for irrigation with a reel-type irrigation system and the water pump to pull water from a lake. You'll find a small 20-acre pasture sitting in the far southeast corner of the ranch that can be used to isolate animals or to store hay. The soils here have been tested, amended with chicken litter 2 years ago, and maintained with applications of urea and weed spray. The results here are obvious. It's a beautiful thick growth of Bermuda, common Lespedeza, and scattered prairie grasses that carpet the land. It's clean, and the cattle on the property exhibit great body condition. The animals are fat and happy here at Castaway Cattle Ranch. With room to stretch out at roughly 3,000 square feet, the combination shop and the equipment shed give you plenty of room to maintain and store your equipment. The current residence here is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom brick home that was built in 1980. The tax assessor has it listed at 1,648 square feet, but somehow it feels larger than that. However, once you walk in, it's a total scenery change. The entire interior has undergone a remodel and it looks fresh and clean. Although it's not a fancy home, it almost will certainly be an acceptable place to stay until you decide if you want to build a new home or stay there. But as always, the Land Doctor's Construction Services stands ready to help you out to design and build a custom home to match the beauty of the land. This is where things get interesting. This property has over 27 acres of surface water that's stored in 9 ponds that range from 1 acre to 6.5 acres in size. In addition, there are 2 areas where chains of ponds are formed here where one flows into the next. On the north end of the ranch, a 1-acre pond flows into a 3.5-acre pond that feeds a 6.5-acre lake. In the south, a 1-acre pond is followed by a 3-acre, a 2-acre, and 4-acre pond. A 2.5-acre and a 3.5-acre pond round out this impressive collection of impoundments. But there's not a visible creek or other significant drainage that follows them, so how can this be? It's easy. This area is underlain by a shallow aquifer, so the ponds are in a slight surface depression, and the water level seen in the ponds is on top of the water table. Simply stated, the ponds are a window into the aquifer below. That's why the water levels change very little even during dry seasons. Steady water levels, very good water quality and clarity, plus structure and vegetation in the ponds, equate to a first-class fishery. We've greatly enjoyed fishing in the ponds to get a feel for catch rates, and in the mornings and evenings, don't be surprised to get a strike on almost every cast. In short, you're not going to have to be skilled to catch fish in these ponds. The largemouth bass are plentiful, healthy, and aggressive. You'll only help improve the size class by catching and keeping some, but there are plenty to go around. There are also great crappie and bluegill populations if you'd rather have some panfish. But you won't have to fish very long before you understand where the Castaway part of this ranch comes from. The ponds on the southern end of the ranch are surrounded by timber, which attract other wildlife, such as white-tailed deer, wild turkey, and waterfowl. As such, the owner got us some great video footage with the deer and ducks at the end of last winter to document the wildlife population. There's also a 36-acre wooded block that'd be ideal to manage as either a hunting area or sanctuary for wildlife. If used as a bedding area, food plots could be easily established along the edges to pull wildlife out into the open. If you're looking for a convenient, centralized location for family and friends to gather, with wildlife, fishing, and ranching opportunities that will make them run to you, call Kelly Hurt at area code 580-421-7512. Check out this and all the rest of our beautiful listings at landdoctors.com, or drop Kelly a line at kelly@landdoctors.com. The Land Doctors, selling beautiful land and creating custom ranches.